Hey, so today I want to talk about budget airlines. And I figured I'd do this as like a get ready with me type thing because I'm really getting ready for work. And I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. Let's hope. Um, okay, so I want to talk about budget airlines. By the way, I'm using this like sample of Smashbox photo finish. I don't know if y'all can see that. Um, Primer. It's alright. I prefer to use elf because it's cheaper, but for now, while I got this, I'm going to use it. Okay, so a couple of budget airlines that are pretty controversial. For number one, Spirit. I do fly Spirit pretty much everywhere I try to go in the US, and even when I went to Mexico, I flew Spirit. And a lot of times when I mention to people I fly Spirit, like they get horrified. They're like, oh my god, I had such a bad experience. But personally, I have never had a bad experience flying Spirit. Maybe that's just up to luck, or maybe that's because like it's kind of like you know what you paid for. I think it's mostly that, honestly. Like, I know if the flight is cheap, it's probably a $90 flight or whatsoever. So, I'm prepared for what I paid for. I know that I'm not going to get peanuts or water or anything free on that plane. I don't drink pop, which is probably why I didn't include pop in that. But, yeah, I pretty much know what I paid for. Also with Spirit, they have a pretty generous size on personal items, which they did just recently rescale. But I'm able to fit my stuff in a Spirit personal item for up to like 5 days. Honestly, I can pack in a Spirit personal item for a trip. So I feel like most of my trips are not longer than 5 days unless it's like an extensive like vacation. So why not go the budget airline way? I would like to hear perspectives though on like budget airlines because I know people are like really truly against it. By the way, I use Estee Lauder Double Wear is the foundation I use in color C61. I think that's what that says. Or, oh, 6C1. I'll be, yeah, okay. Y'all know I can't read. But yeah, I would like to hear what other people think about Spirit as well. But my point about talking about Spirit and budget airlines is it's a great way to make travel accessible to people who feel like they can't afford to travel. Now, it may be due to the particular city you may live in or state you may live in and your local metro airport, which is why you may not like the budget airports or airlines that are in your airport. I think Southwest is a version of a budget airline, but I've actually heard good things about Southwest. Another budget airline that's coming to a lot of cities near people is Wow Air. I think it's a Icelandic based company, but basically it's already in Chicago and New York, and it does international flights on like for real cheap. Like they have flights as low as $89 each way, going to places like Iceland, Paris, London, just you name it, Barcelona. And I'm actually going to fly WOW for the first time. It's not in Detroit yet, but it will be in Detroit fall of 2018 for anybody from Detroit who is looking to fly internationally on a budget. Great option. I will probably do a review about it once I get back from my trip to London to kind of tell people about what to expect when you're flying an international budget airline. But yeah, I think budget airlines are a great example of, you know, how to fly cheaply. Like, again, as I talked about in my last video, considering your budget and stuff, You need to know what your budget is, and honestly, a lot of the money that you want to have for your budget, you don't want to spend on a really, really high class airline. I mean, I don't want to. Um, Most of the time, being on an airplane is miserable, regardless of whether your plane ticket cost you $2,000 or $500 or $300 or whatever your plane ticket may have cost, or $100. Um, Being on the airplane, a lot of people are like, some people are relaxed and they're okay with flying airplanes. I fly pretty frequently, but I will say that I do get nervous at turbulence still. I do have to take a Dramamine before I get on most airplanes. Sometimes I get that really hard sensation, like where your um, ears pop right before you land, and that is kind of miserable. Or you have like cloudy ears when you get off the plane for a couple of hours, and that is kind of miserable. So there's some pretty, honestly, some pretty miserable parts of flying, not to deter anybody from flying, but just to be honest about the situation. I'm gonna adjust my lighting because my highlight looks like pretty. Let's see if I can. Maybe I should adjust it this way. That. It's a little bit better. But yeah, there's some pretty unpleasant parts about flying. So regardless if you pay $2,000 or $200, you're still going to experience the same like physical sensations when you're on a plane. The difference is what class you sit in, or the drinks and amenities that you get. But those are not all things that you need. Those are wants, which is why budget airlines like Spirit, like WOW, sometimes Southwest, but I don't think they offer a little bit more amenities. But their plane tickets are a little bit more expensive too. What's another one? Frontier. That's why budget airlines like those are able to bring you discounted tickets, because they count on the fact that you don't need all those amenities and necessities, and it cuts down on the price of the ticket, and it also cuts down on the weight of the plane when you're not bringing huge checked luggages just because they see it, you can have it for free, you know? And a lot of times you find that you will overpack and you done brought way more than you actually needed to bring. So definitely think about that when you're thinking about pretty much budget airlines and whether you should fly on budget airlines or not. I guess another tidbit about budget airlines is just look at the times, be very, how do we say that? Be very attentive when you are, actually I'm going to use this sample that I got from Benefit. It's so cute. It's like a little tiny, well, it's not focusing. But anyway, it's a little tiny Benefit Cosmetics sample of eyeliner. And it's actually better than my current eyeliner, so I'm gonna probably use this until it's done, and then I'll probably buy some. I think it runs like $12. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, budget airlines, and basically how, you need to consider that you don't need all that luggage that you usually pack with, because most of the time you overpack anyway, and that makes the plane, a lot more expensive to fly. They have to use a lot more fuel when you're carrying bags and bags of clothes that you're not going to wear, and most likely when you go to the destination, you're going to end up shopping and finding something to wear out anyway, so you done brought 30 different dresses that you're not even going to wear because you already know that you're going to go shopping at the destination. And I guess this is not for everyone. Well, at least for me, I already know that I'm going to go shopping at the destination that I go to. I do still overpack, but there are other ways that I find that I can overpack within the restrictions of free, personal items or carry-on. items where I don't have to spend too much extra money. But sometimes if you're on an extended trip and you're flying a budget airline, so for example, I flew, like I think I said that earlier, but I flew Spirit to Mexico, and um, we were there about 7 days. That's a little bit longer than just what a personal item. Wow, Victoria. That's a little bit longer than what a personal item, may hold. I kind of want like full versions of my products if I'm flying for that long. So that's what that's when I decided afterwards that I was going to get a checked luggage. So I paid, and Spirit is pretty high, I paid $84 each way for checked luggage. And I was able to bring my full, and it was mainly because I was able to bring my full-sized items, like, my facial wash, lotions, sunscreens when you're in Mexico. Like, don't sleep on sunscreen. I'm telling even black people, some black people don't believe, and I will say some because I do know a lot of black people who, people, not even just black people, my people, black and brown people who don't believe in sunscreen. Sunscreen is real. Skin cancer is real. Your skin peeling is real. Like, it's not about not getting darker, because even with sunscreen, sometimes you can still get a darker shade, which I love anyway, to be out in the sun. But it's just about protecting your skin for the sun. Like, you gotta think, people are talking about during the eclipse, if you look into the sun, you can go partially blind. So what do you think if your body is exposed to the sun in a place where you're a little bit closer to the equator than you usually are? I'm from Michigan, that's why I say that. And also in a place where, not only are you a little bit closer to the equator, but like the sun is beaming down on you for longer periods of the day, and you're going to be out and about. Here, when the sun is out, and a lot of the times in Michigan, the sun is out, in the summer from like morning until 9 p.m. I'm not in the sun from morning to 9 p.m. because I live here, but when you're traveling, you like to walk around and go see stuff and look at attractions and stuff like that. This is way over 10 minutes. See, I think I could do my makeup in less than 10 minutes. It's a lie. But anyway, a lot of the time you think that you could be in the sun for a long time just because you got sun back home, but it's not the truth. Invest in sunscreen. So things like that, full-size items, larger liquid products. I use spray sunscreen, so that's going to be a larger liquid product. Larger things of lotion. So if you're traveling, like I traveled with my sister, or traveled with my sister when I went to Mexico, and we share a lot of products. So as opposed to bringing two little tight Ziploc thingies, we could bring our full-size products. One thing I found though is Spirit is very generous when it comes to the weight of your carry-on items. So we don't have a scale at home, so we didn't even realize that, I think we had up to like 40 pounds and our luggage was only like 23. So really we could have put a lot more stuff in our carry-on item, but we didn't need it. And so that's what I mean by, a lot of the times you don't need those extra necessities, and just think to yourself, this is just like, in my opinion, it's not worth it to pay for those extra necessities, but to other people, it is. So it's kind of up to you what you're willing to pay for when it comes to traveling and paying an airline who's going to charge you for little extra necessities like a free luggage if you feel that you need it, or like water or pop, or like anything else. So you just have to consider that when you are thinking about traveling. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say on the issue of, just to re-sum it up, I guess, or put it on a conclusion. Just consider budget travel when a lot of people are quick to say, well, traveling is not affordable. Well, there are affordable options, but don't let your ego get in the way of you not using the affordable options. Like, just because you travel across the country, no one cares that you flew Delta. No one cares that you flew in, United. But you just paid for status, or, I mean, you just paid for something that's probably not all that necessary. Now, I understand that a lot of people have had, that's what I've meant to address, a lot of people have had really bad experiences with Spirit being delayed and canceling flights. So I understand if in your airport, in your area, Spirit or Frontier or Southwest or whoever the budget airline is, they're not on point and they're making people late and stuff like that. Like, I 100% get that. That would be a reason why I would stop flying an airline. But personally, in my experience, I haven't had those issues with the budget airlines that I flew. I guess I can, like, I don't have any wood next to me, but knock on wood in a sense, and just be lucky that I haven't so far. But it's definitely something to consider, flying budget airlines. I am using, ooh, that's dirty. Sorry, guys. Anyway, just so you can get the point, it's this Too Faced Peach My Cheeks blush that just came out from Too Faced. Yeah, I really like this product. It's like black girl friendly blush. And when you blend it out, it's real cute, so. But yeah, I'm just going to finish my makeup. And I hope you guys have a nice Friday and consider budget airlines. The holiday season is coming up. WOW Air has some really great specials. If you're not from Detroit, I'm flying from Chicago because it's closest. If you're from Chicago, if you're from New York, if you're from a more major city, WOW is going to be there. I think WOW is also going to be in Cincinnati and in Cleveland, from what I've seen on their website, spring of 2018 too. So this is just East Coast and Midwest advice. I think WOW might already be in LA. I'm not sure. Just check their website, but they have really great deals. So that's WOW, WOWAIR, air.com. Check them out. They will get you to one of your dream destinations for real cheap, depending on how far you plan ahead. You have to consider those things, and where you're going and what season it is. So check that out. All right, have a nice day.